I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas.
Hello everyone, Uncle Charles Walhingford back again with another video dealing with your style, fashion, and image. Most importantly, image. We're going to talk about your first watch. Guys, a real man wears a watch. So if you want to be a full all-around man, you got to have a nice watch. And I'm going to help you with your purchase, with your first watch, or ideas on what your first watch could be. This is not the end all be all, but if you can do these things, you listen to these suggestions, you'll be right there. Of course, you can go with a different style watch that I'm going to suggest, but if you can stay within the boundaries of what I'm trying to put out, you'll still be in good shape. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the different price ranges. You can spend thousands of dollars, but a lot of times your first nice watch, you don't have thousands of dollars to spend. Your first nice watch is the early stages. One of my first nice watches was a Movado. It's a lot of people's first nice watch. That's not the watch I'm going to suggest today, but it's not a bad move. And a lot of times those Movado watches aren't terribly expensive. But again, they're not what I would suggest today. Maybe a couple years ago, I might suggest that Movado Museum. Today, I'm going to suggest to you a black dial diver style watch. Now, for those of you who may be new to watches, a dial is what you may call a face. The proper term is dial, the black dial watch. Stainless steel with a stainless steel bracelet. That's what I would highly suggest to you for your first watch. That can come in very different. Like I said, you can spend thousands of dollars, but you may not have thousands of dollars to spend. Maybe you have a couple hundred to spend. And the bottom line, I would say for me, I would say $1,000 is your entry point. But maybe you don't have $1,000. Maybe you're trying to really spread it out. You want to have a nice outfit because you may be buying a suit for a special occasion. You want to have a nice fragrance. You want to have nice shoes. You want to have a nice watch also. You may not have all those things, so you want to come in at a lower price range. And I would suggest $300 is the bare minimum. The bare minimum is $300. $300 is still, you can still find a nice watch. It's not a bad place to start. It's not a terrible place to start. Seiko 5. Seiko 5, the SPD55. It's a black dial diver watch. It looks fine, looks good. It's going to fill in the pieces and fill in the spots and look really nice. Next, $500 price range, Tissot C-Star Automatic. I say automatic because you can come in at $300 with their quartz version. But you want to be classy. The way to be classy is to be traditional. Traditional is how that watch moves. A watch that moves in traditional fashion, that's mechanical. They say automatic, that's what they mean by mechanical. A mechanical automatic watch is more traditional because it's made a traditional way and it's a little bit more classy. And that's why I would suggest that one. Still a nice watch. And then, hey, guess what? You're able to step into the Swiss-made watch. It's a Swiss-made, Swiss brand, originally Swiss brand, Tissot. You can get in with Tissot. It's part of a brand called the Swatch, or company called Swatch Group. And the Swatch Group has a lot of definitely higher end watches, but that's I believe that Tissot is their bottom, which is still not a bad place to be. Also, a little note, if you haven't seen it, you've maybe seen the name Tissot before. Tissot has been the timekeeper, official timekeeper of the NBA for the past couple of years. Fun fact. All right, so this is where I would say this is where you need to come in, the $1,000 range. Today, you can spend anywhere from as low as $1,000, maybe find a sale or a deal, or as high as $1,500 for this particular watch. And this is the Longines Hydro Conquest. Longines Hydro Conquest. This was my first nice watch, the first watch that I broke $1,000 with. However, there's a caveat to it, and I'll talk about that at the end. It's nicer than a Tissot. It's still part of Swatch Group, so you're still part of a nice brand, Swiss-made watch and everything else. As you notice, as you start going up the price range, the watches look a little bit nicer. They have a couple more extra details here and there, and they're just going to be all around a nicer watch. Tag Heuer Aqua Racer. The Aqua Racer, they got the 300 and the 500, the 300 and 500. Is that right? Yeah, I think this 300 and 500. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll have a picture of it. You'll see the picture of it right here. This is what I'm referring to. These are some very nice watches, beautiful watches, and this is the beginning of brand recognition. A lot of people have heard of Tag Heuer. A lot of people may not have heard of, as many people may not have heard of Longines. A lot of people may not have heard of Tissot, but Tag Heuer has some brand recognition. That is LVMH. LVMH. That's a brand that makes Hublot. They make Bulgari. They make quite a few nice watches. So they're part of a big parent company, LVMH. Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. That's what the acronym stands for. So you can get a watch that has some brand recognition for right around $2,000, and it's a great watch. I had a Aqua Racer once, just didn't keep it, didn't feel it. But that's a whole nother story. Let's move on to the $5,000 range. $5,000, you're gonna get a nice watch. My suggestion is the Omega Seamaster Diver 300. Omega Seamaster Diver 300. That's what I have right here. This is my example of a great first watch, or a foundational watch. This watch is a beautiful watch, and if you look at it compared to the other watches that I've talked about, it is far more attractive. This is one of the most beautiful watches I actually own right now. I feel real blessed to own a watch of this caliber. A lot of things have to happen right for you to own something like this. And guys, this is just the beginning for a lot of people. $5,000 is the beginning. If you watch my previous video on carriage before the horse, my friend got a $20,000 plus, not $20,000, $20,000 plus Rolex. That's how it works, guys. You work your way up. Good things happen. You leave yourself open for good things happen, and you can buy something like that. If that's not the case for you, maybe this is the pinnacle. Maybe this is the end. Maybe this is the last nice watch you're able to get. You know what? Enjoy it. If this is my last nice watch. No, this is not my last. This is not my last nice watch, but this is one of the nicest ones I have in my collection. I love this watch. Beautiful watch. Black dial. Goes with anything. And then brand recognition, especially with Omega. Omega got popular just like Rolex with James Bond. James Bond and Rolex had a long time relationship, and they really made pop culture allow a sport watch to be a dress watch. And that's where we're at right now. So this watch at 6 to maybe even 7,000 is a watch that I would say I would hope to get one day, but I don't want to be redundant. You should. You don't have to, but you should. You don't want to be redundant in your collection. You want to have this watch over here, this watch is different from that one, and this watch is better for this outfit, so on and so forth. Anyway, Grand Seiko Diver. The Grand Seiko Diver. There's only one Grand Seiko Diver. It has different generations, so some of the generations look different than the others. But the Grand Seiko Diver Spring Drive, I know this would be controversial for the Rolex guys. It's a better watch than the Rolex. Now, here are some of my further suggestions. One of the things you don't want to do is watch out if like you like what I'm saying, but you're going to go in a different direction. Watch out for case size. Case size, case size, case size. What does that mean? How big the watch's body is, the body of the watch, how big that is how wide the case is and how high the case is actually matters. The width and the height, what does that matter? Because it stops being an all-around watch. Some watches are just spectacular, beautiful watches, but they are big cases. Something like what brings to mind is Invicta. Invicta makes some of their best watches have, the best looking watches have huge case sizes. It looks absolutely horrible to have a huge case size watch in a suit. If your case is getting caught or it's bunching up your shirt or your jacket, it looks horrible. It looks unkept. It looks very, I don't know what the word would be. There's a lot of words I don't want to say make people feel bad or whatever, but it's not classy at all. It's not classy. It doesn't look, it's classless, honestly. It's a time and place for everything. If you have an Invicta, it's warm, short sleeve, I think that looks really cool on you. But if you're wearing an Invicta with a big, huge case and you're wearing a suit, it looks bad, guys. It looks bad. What is that number? Stay under 44 millimeters. Stay for width and height, stay under 14 millimeters if possible. Next thing is your bracelet. I would go with a bracelet, not a leather strap, but if you are going to go with a leather strap, it should match the dial, a black dial. You want to keep it flexible. You want to have a classy look. And what does that mean? It's a look that will last a long time. My whole suggestion with the diver watch, that diver watch style, if I'm not mistaken, is over 60 years old. Over 60 years old for that style of watch. So it will not go out of style, or it won't go out of style for a long time. If it's been around this long, you're going to have what, 20, maybe even 30, maybe even 50 more years to go where that watch is still looks good, still acceptable. Look how many new, well, you don't know, but it's a lot of new brands that come out. They always come out with a diver watch. They always come out with a diver watch with that same style of having that rotating bezel. That's always the look. That's always the look. So guys, that's a good way to go about it. There's other brands that are worthy. There's other brands that you can go by, but try to stay within that black diver. All right, the last thing, well, is this the last thing? Oh, let me tell you this. This is not the last thing. Let me tell you this. If you see these prices, you think, man, these retail prices are expensive. I don't have the type of money. Get a pre-owned watch. Go on Chrono24. eBay is kind of sketchy. eBay can be a little sketchy. The lower price watches, you may be able to do okay, but the higher price watches, it's a little sketchy when you're buying those watches through eBay. If you don't know exactly what they look for, it won't be right, because they sell fake and counterfeit watches all the time on eBay. They simply do. But you can get a good watch on eBay if you know what you're looking for. Maybe you can start doing some research on watch collecting and things like that. You'll learn about how to identify or things you want to look for when you buy a pre-owned watch. Now, the last thing I want to say, as far as variations, is the color. Say you don't want a black dial watch. What color dial would you go with? You still want to get a diver watch. You're listening to me. It's like, you know what? A stainless steel bracelet would be a good way to go. But I don't, black is just, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with the next color, just like a suit. Just like a suit, what are the first suits you should get? First suit, black suit. If not your first suit, a blue suit. And then maybe a gray suit. Same thing with watches. Blue, gray, black. So if you decide, you know what, I like what he's saying, but I don't want a black dial watch, gray dial, blue dial. And that is what I have here. This is what I talked about earlier. This is my Longines Hydro Conquest. I believe this is the 42 millimeter. This was my first $1,000 watch where I broke the $1,000 seal. Man, I was so excited, so proud of myself. Man, the words I can't explain. A feeling that you just can't explain. That it was really special to me. Now, don't get it twisted. Don't misunderstand what I'm talking about. There's a lot of other things in my life that was bigger than this. This is a big one for something that's just a trinket. It's just a trinket. It's just an accessory. This was special to me. I love the way this looks now. This has been over 10 years. I've had this watch and it still looks good. Like I talked about before, this is a timeless look. It seems like it's a timeless look. And I'll be wearing this for a long time in the future. All right, guys, that's it. That is the video. I hope this helped you out. I hope you take in what I had to say. I'll say things like this for the most part, guys. I'll go with this. I want to explain this to you, and I'll reiterate this in other videos too. A lot of canaries are dying in our coal mine. This world, this country is in trouble. And the big thing is men have really fell off. We have fell off in so many different ways. And these videos are designed to help bring us back. Because if you do this thing, you can't help but to do that thing. A lot of these things go hand in hand. And wearing a nice watch really brings in your maturity. It really brings in the manliness of you. Yeah, a woman can wear a watch, but you will feel completely different wearing a nice watch. You know how you feel when you get a new haircut? You know how you feel when you put on some nice fresh shoes, especially like sneakers or whatever? You have a different feeling. I want to push that. I want us to get these feelings back. I want you men to be men again. We have to reclaim our masculinity, and I am here to help you do that. That's why I say that at the end of the video. So that's the video, guys. I'm Uncle Charles Walhingford. I'm just here to help.